Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing well. Today I would like to talk about something that quietly shapes every decision we make, every dream we pursue, and every challenge we face. It's not our job title, it's not our education, it's not even our circumstances. It's the stories we tell ourselves. Every one of us has an inner narrator. It speaks to us every day. Sometimes it encourages us, sometimes it questions us, and sometimes it reminds us of our strengths. And sometimes, without realizing it, it convinces us that we are not capable enough. The interesting thing is that most of these stories aren't spoken aloud. They happen silently. Yet they influence our confidence, creativity, relationships, and decisions more than we often realize. Today, I want us to explore those stories together. Okay, so think about it for a moment. Who do you talk to the most in your entire life? Your parents? Your friends? Your colleagues? Actually, it's yourself. From the moment you wake up until the moment you fall asleep, right, your mind is constantly having conversations, and sometimes they are encouraging, like, I can do this, I will learn, this challenge will teach me something. And other times they sound very different, like, I am not ready, what if I fail, maybe someone else is better. So these thoughts may seem small, but repeated over months and years, they become the story we believe about ourselves. And what we believe often shapes how we act. Okay, so this leads to chapter 2, that is the power of self-talk. Self-talk isn't just positive or negative, okay? It's powerful. Now imagine two people preparing for the same opportunity. Do you think that they have similar qualifications, with similar experience, similar talent, but one person says, I will give it my best, and the other says, I will probably fail? Who do you think will approach the opportunity with more confidence? Well, the difference isn't ability, it's the conversation happening inside. And our inner dialogue influences our posture, our energy, our willingness to take risk, and even our creativity. So the words we repeat become familiar, and familiar thoughts often become beliefs. Okay, so this leads to chapter 3, that where do these stories come from? So many of our inner stories begin early in life. Okay, sometimes they are shaped by our family, sometimes by teachers, sometimes by success, and sometimes by disappointment. Maybe someone once told you, you are not creative. Years later, you still hesitate before trying something artistic. Maybe someone praised your curiosity. Right? Now you are confident exploring new ideas. So the important thing is to remember is this, that not every story we carry belongs to us. Okay, some were given to us and some were borrowed, and some no longer serve who we are today. So this leads to chapter 4, that is rewriting limiting beliefs. Okay, so let's talk about limiting beliefs. Now what is limiting beliefs? Limiting beliefs means that these are the quiet sentences that keep us small. Okay, like, I am too old, I am too young, I am not talented, I always fail, I don't deserve success. So notice something interesting. These sentences sound like facts, but many of them are simply interpretations. What if we replace them? So instead of saying I am not creative, try saying I am learning to become more creative. Instead of I will never improve, say I am improving with practice. So one sentences close a door and the other opens one. So now this chapter 5. Okay, creativity begins with permission. So as someone who enjoys storytelling, writing, creativity, I have learned one important lesson, that creativity doesn't begin with talent. Okay, it begins with permission, and permission to experiment, permission to make mistakes, and permission to be a beginner. And many people never discover their creativity because they are waiting to become perfect first. Okay, but creativity doesn't grow in perfection. It grows in curiosity, because every artist, writer, filmmaker, musician, or entrepreneur began as someone who simply decided to try. So now this leads to chapter 6, the stories that shape our decisions. So think about the decisions you have made in your life. Like, why did you choose one path instead of another? Often the answer isn't the opportunity itself. Okay, it's a story you believed. If you believe I'm capable of learning, you will probably accept new challenges. If you believe that I'll embarrass myself, you might avoid opportunities altogether. Because the future isn't only shaped by circumstances, it's also shaped by the stories we repeat before making decisions. Okay, so now this leads to becoming the author, because here's one of my favorite ideas. Like, imagine your life as a book. Every year becomes a chapter, and some chapters are exciting and others are difficult. Some include unexpected twists, but here's the beautiful part: you are still writing. Many people believe one difficult chapter defines the entire book. It doesn't. Okay, a challenging chapter isn't the ending. It's simply one chapter. Okay, now the next page is still blank and you get to decide what comes next. Okay, so now there's chapter 8. What is real growth? So growth doesn't happen because everything becomes easy. Growth happens because we choose to respond differently. So instead of asking why is this happening to me, we might ask what can this teach me. Okay, so instead of asking what if I fail, we ask what if I learn. Okay, so those small challenges transform our experience. Okay, so now this leads to chapter 9. Now, building a better inner narrative. So how do we begin? Okay, we begin by listening. Notice the sentences you repeat every day. Okay, now ask yourself, are these facts or are they fears? Are they my own beliefs or someone else's expectations? Then begin writing new sentences. Okay, not unrealistic ones, honest ones. Okay, I can improve, I can learn, I don't have to know everything today because I'm allowed to grow. Simple, isn't it? It's gentle, realistic. Now those become the foundation of confidence. Now there's chapter 10, the author you are becoming. So one thing I have realized is that the confidence doesn't appear overnight. It grows through repeated action. So every article you write, every video you record, every difficult conversation you have, every challenge you overcome, they all become evidence. So evidence that you are capable, right? Evidence that you are growing. And confidence isn't created by never failing. It's created by continuing. So as we come to the end of the today's conversation, I would like to leave you with one final thought. Like every morning, your inner narrator begins writing another page. Okay. Now the question is, what story will you choose today? Will it be a story of fear or curiosity? Of limitation or possibility? Remember, your life isn't written in a single day, it's written one decision, one conversation, one habit, and one belief at a time. So what can you do is that be kind to the voice that speaks within you, challenge the stories that no longer help you grow, and write new ones that reflect not only who you are today but also who you are becoming. Because in many ways we are all authors, not just of books but of our own lives. So thank you so much for spending this time with me. If this lecture made you reflect on your own inner narrative, I would love to hear from you. What is one story you are stopped believing about yourself, and what new story are you choosing to write instead? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this lecture, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more conversations on storytelling, creativity, journalism, travel, mindfulness and personal growth. Until next time, keep writing your story with courage, curiosity and hope. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.